Have you ever stopped mid-thought and wondered what you actually are? Not your name, not your job, not the story you tell people at dinner parties. What if you aren't separate from nature at all? What if you never were? Not above it, looking down like a manager checking on the factory floor. Not below it, small and accidental. Just one more shape nature decided to take. The way a wave is still the ocean, even while it's busy being a wave. Maybe the biggest illusion we've ever agreed on quietly without a vote is the idea that one form of life matters more than another. Everything is connected. Right now, as these words reach you, something enormous is happening that nobody is watching. A seed is cracking open under 6 inches of soil, using stored sunlight from a summer that already ended. A current is moving through the Pacific, 3 degrees colder than it was a century ago, nudging a school of fish 200 miles off their usual course. Somewhere, a person is taking their last breath. Somewhere else, at almost the same second, a person is taking their first. None of that is separate from you. It's not poetry, it's plumbing. The oxygen in this sentence passed through a forest before it passed through your lungs. The carbon in your bones was cooked inside a star that died before the Earth existed. We like to imagine ourselves as the main character, standing apart from the scenery. But there is no scenery. There's just one continuous event, wearing a billion different faces, and yours happens to be one of them. The infinite chain of events. Reality doesn't move in straight lines. It moves in ripples. You say one sentence to a stranger, and it changes the rest of their afternoon. That afternoon changes a decision. That decision changes who they marry or don't. And you'll never know it happened, because the ripple keeps moving long after you've stopped watching the water. Some of these chains are visible cause, then affect clean as a domino line. But most of them aren't. Most of them are buried in years of distance, so tangled by the time they resurface that nobody could trace them back to where they started. A choice your grandmother made in a kitchen you never saw is quietly finishing itself inside you right now. This is the part that's easy to forget when we talk about living in the moment. Living in the moment doesn't mean the moment is small. It means the moment is loaded. Every conversation you have, every thought you let repeat, every choice you make when no one's watching, none of it disappears. It becomes the next domino. Someone someday inherits the fall. Humanity as part of nature. Try to picture humanity not as 8 billion separate stories, but as one organism, spread across a thin blue shell of rock and water, quietly running its own kind of metabolism. Now zoom out further. Every tree exhaling what you just inhaled. Every fungus underground, trading sugar for minerals in a transaction older than language. Every whale, singing at a frequency that can cross an ocean basin. Every bacterium in your gut, technically not you, but doing more to keep you alive today than most of the people you'll talk to. On a molecular level, none of this ever stops moving. Energy changes hands. Atoms that were once a redwood become, 1,000 years later, a fistful of soil, then a blade of grass, then a deer, then eventually maybe a person reading a sentence like this one and wondering where they came from. It's genuinely too big to hold in your head all at once. And maybe that's not a failure of imagination, maybe that's the whole point. The wondering is the relationship. The moment we stop being amazed by it is the moment we start treating it like furniture. We create more than we realize. Every day, without ceremony, we make things that didn't exist before. We make memories that will outlive the moment that created them. We make emotions that ripple into other people's days without asking permission. Some of us make entirely new humans, which, if you actually sit with it, is an almost unreasonable amount of power to hand to ordinary people. We are, all of us, currently participating in an ecosystem that is floating through the vacuum of space on a rock roughly 8,000 miles wide, and somehow most days we're worried about traffic. That's not a criticism. That's the strange beauty of it. Something this cosmically strange has become so ordinary that we forget to notice it. No one has lived your exact combination of atoms, memories, and moments before. No one ever will again. That's not a motivational poster. That's just true. Closing reflection. As time moves through us, because it does move through us, not just around us, we change shape the way everything else does. Our bodies grow, then slow, then let go. Our minds widen, then narrow, then widen again. What we understand keeps shifting under our feet, whether we notice or not. Nature has seasons. Spring pushes green through dead ground. Summer holds its breath. Autumn lets go of what it doesn't need anymore. Winter waits. We have seasons too. Seasons where everything grows. Seasons where we lose more than we plan to. Seasons that feel like standing in fog, unsure which direction is forward. And seasons, eventually, of coming back. Maybe understanding ourselves was never a separate project from understanding nature. Maybe it was the same project the entire time, just wearing a disguise. Maybe we were never separate from it. Maybe this whole time we've simply been it. If this made you pause, even for a second, leave a like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Where do you feel most connected to nature, and where do you feel most cut off from it?